It's Wednesday today, I believe. I'll probably have a moment, see what I'm feeling, see if there's anything for me to say. This is a black tourmaline my cousin gave it me for my birthday, which is so sweet. Anyway, I just had this feeling as if I wanted to speak on what I was feeling was a message on the toxic family. It was more so when you as a child enter into, well, are born into a already existing toxic dynamic. Let's not say toxic, let's just go with unhealthy dynamic. I always felt like it was my fault, or I was the reason, or I'm the cause, or I'm the catalyst. But one thing about dysfunction is that if it's always been there ever since you can remember, it was likely there before you could remember it. If you are struggling with the family, feeling victimized, or feeling like the scapegoat, I'm being called to tell you to hold your integrity, to believe in the good days, in the better days. And also what I'm being given to express is to not wait too long. Often when we are in situations or when we are with loved ones that aren't showing us so much love, it's kind of hard for us to sometimes walk away. There's a sense of guilt, there's a sense of grief, there's a sense of loneliness and longing for your family to be around you. But in the message of don't wait too long, it's don't be around and don't be in a environment that is taken away from you. We have this delusional idea that one day these people are going to change, or one day they're not going to treat me like this, or one day I'm going to be this kind of successful, so they're not going to not like me, or they're going to have no reason not to like me. But in actual fact, there will always be a reason, because there was no reason in the beginning. So often the reasons are things that they make. For instance, somebody could come into the room and just purposely say something that no is a trigger for you because they're needing a certain reaction. That reaction that you then give then allows them to say, look, this is this person. Look, this person isn't healed because this is how they act. Or this person isn't a good person because look how angry they got. This person isn't nice because they just told me to shut up or be quiet. Or, so quite often when people are trying to trigger you, when people are trying to get at you, when people are trying to change your public image, it's always a reflection of themselves. It's always a wish to be seen in the way that you are. There's an undercurrent of envy and jealousy. So you can't wait too long and you can't stay too long around these people. You have to learn to live, you have to learn to love, and you have to learn to thrive alone by yourself. Really, no one should have to be alone, but when the environment isn't healthy, when the environment isn't helping you thrive, when the environment isn't making you grow in a positive way, there isn't a need for it. There's a need to change the environment. There's a need to go into a new environment. And this new environment will shift your mind into new perspectives, and you'll be able to look back at these people that are meant to love you and see that you should have left a long time ago. The only thing that's keeping you there is the hope of a better day. But that better day comes when you decide that the better day is here. I've decided that emotionally it's important for me to try and disconnect from certain people. Unfortunately, these certain people tend to be people that are closer to me or have been closer to me, people that I've grew up with, people that I've known my whole life, people that I confided in, people that I trusted, people that I loved more than probably myself at times. And often when you love so strongly, or when you are so, I don't want to say pure in your love, but genuine in your love, people take that for granted. And then they start talking to you in ways that are not reflective of the love that you thought they had for you. They start treating you in ways that are not reflective of the love you thought they had for you. So I've learned that whilst you can love, whilst you can be giving, whilst you can care for people, it's as selfish as it seems and as selfish as it sounds, the person in front of them should always be you. You should never, ever, 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 ever love somebody so much to the point where you start to lose yourself in them. And I don't mean it in necessarily just like relationships as in boyfriend and girlfriend, or girlfriend and girlfriend, and boyfriend and boyfriend. I mean it like cousin relationships, friendship relationships, parent and child relationships, brother and sister relationships, brother and brother relationships, working dynamics. If something isn't serving you, it's time to let it go. And you'll find that the longer that you don't let it go, the more you're going to be worried about this situation, the more you're going to be kind of mentally held back because of this situation, because it's occupying your mind. In this life, our emotions dictate so much. They dictate how we feel. They dictate how we experience the world and the wider world around us. And quite often, we are not aware that we are in control of our feelings, and if we are not in control of our feelings, we can be in control of our surroundings. And if we are not in control of our surroundings, we can control the surroundings that we place ourselves in to then negate the feelings. If you stay in a negative environment, you're going to feel negative and your life's going to be negative. You're going to project negativity. If you move into an environment of growth, an environment of exploration, a new environment, a healthy environment, your life is going to be healthy. Your life's going to feel new. There's going to be a sense of discovery and adventure. But most importantly, your vibration isn't constantly being attacked. Your aura isn't constantly being attacked, and your light's not constantly being diminished. So again, I hope all is well. I hope you're feeling blessed. And I hope you're feeling high vibrational. Peace and love. Ashe. Okay, so I'm just sat here because we're late, so I thought I'll sit and pull some cards. And the deck that we'll be using today will be the Witch's Tarot. And the first card that's came out is actually the Fool card, which makes complete sense, actually. Especially with what I was just saying a moment ago about starting a new journey. The Fool is obviously the card of starting a new journey. If you can see, this individual is a little bit naive. He's focused on the upside of life. He's focused on kind of all that's in his headspace rather than being focused upon the reality of his situation. If you can see how he's on this cliff, he's about to walk off, but he's not even noticed it. This person, this individual, is heavily reliant upon his or hers mental reality. The reality that they have, I want to say created, or this reality has come about from them being invested in their heart space. And quite often when we are dealing with families, when we are dealing with unhealthy families, when we are dealing with family dynamics that we can't kind of remove ourselves from, it is obviously because we are invested in our heart space with our families. This individual is taking all what's necessary with him. And as you can see, he's only got a small bag. They then have this rose in their hand. And the rose in this moment, for me, as soon as I saw the rose, I heard forgiveness. First I saw the white flag, and then I saw it's the flag of forgiveness. It's almost as if this individual is stepping forward with purity of intention. It's also the realization of the need to let go. At the bottom of this card, we have this dog. Now for me, this is representing the worries, the fears, insecurities of the person. When the Fool, when the person who's feeling targeted or scapegoated in the family, when they decide to move on, their fears, their worries, their insecurities, their trauma, their heartache, it's going to leave with them in this dog. But as you can see, the dog is also running and going on its own journey, kind of removing itself from this individual so that this individual can be free, so that this individual can walk forward with this purity of intent. Seven of Swords. This for me is another card that represents it's the kind of walking away again. And as we're walking away, we're collecting our swords, we're collecting our weapons. But as you can see, this individual's smiling. He's quite happy. He's quite calm, he's quite peaceful, he's quite content. It's almost that each of these swords that he's collecting, they represent a triumph, a tribulation, a struggle, a battle that they've been through, but they also represent lessons that they've learned, that they're now able to take forward with them, that they are now able to use in other testing situations. As you can see, both of these individuals have this bag with them, and really and truly the bag's not very big. So really it feels like when we're born into dynamics that we're immediately feeling at a disadvantage, there's kind of a bag full of lessons that one is meant to learn and that one is going to gain. And if you're born into something difficult, what I want to say is that you're born into it for a reason. There's purpose to the difficulty, and that difficulty is to build you for the next journey, for the next advancement in your life. But it feels that and it only feels for specific individuals that are on a consciously knowing evolutionary shift or conscious shift, a conscious knowing of their spiritual enlightenment, When you're consciously aware of the journey that you're on in spirit, in physical body, and you're put into you're given a life of struggle at the beginning, there's something to do with the transformation and the mutation of these struggles into that of lessons in growth, if that makes sense. And it's the beauty of hindsight. Hindsight really allows us to be able to reflect and look back and see the abundance of these struggles. The Six of Pentacles. Right, so the Six of Pentacles, for me, represents this individual here is spirit. This individual represents the self, the masculine and the feminine energies of self. But again, if you can see, these two individuals are innocent and pure. Going back to this innocence and pure of intent with the white rose. Not just that, if you can see, spirit is blessing these two individuals, this masculine and feminine energy, with pentacles, with lessons, with teachings, with love, with guidance, with abundance. Whilst we feel that we're on this journey of struggle, whilst many feel that they are the scapegoat or they are the black sheep, I want to tell you that spirit is beside you, spirit is supporting you, and the thing that is not being realized in this struggle is the lessons, is the teachings, is the growth. Have you ever met a person in life that hasn't struggled and that is successful? Have you met a person that is strong that hasn't worked out? Have you met a person that can fight that hasn't been in a fight? Six of Wands, Eight of Wands. Six of Wands. The Six of Wands for me represents the closing and the coming about of a cycle, or the coming about of a cycle and the closing of a cycle. Either way, it's the same. Now, the Eight of Wands represents a new day, a new life, greener grass on the other side. If you can see, all these wands are pointing you to this greener grass. All these guides, each stick representing a different guide, all these guides are pointing you to this greener grass. All these lessons, each stick representing a different lesson, pointing you to this greener grass. All these struggles, pointing you to this greener grass. With this being said, for some reason this actually feels more so to be expressed as a generational cycle, a generational curse. but it's one of trauma and healing. And often the scapegoat, the black sheep, the one that feels left out, the one that feels targeted, they often hold shame, the shame of the family, the insecurities of the family, the trauma of the family, and it's for them to break that. And it's not necessarily to break that. I was watching a video last night and it was nothing to do with spirituality, but in the video the woman said you can't break generational curses, you can only create new ones, you can only create new cycles. And that is the message that's being given here. If you remember from the beginning, we were saying it's not about often we struggle to remove ourselves from family, from people that love us, from people that we love. But in order for you to stop feeling the way that you've been made to feel, to stop receiving conditional love, when you stop accepting what you don't deserve and start moving towards what you do deserve, the days are going to be better. And that's just how I want to leave that. But thank you for being with me. Thank you for being present with me. Thank you to the Witches Tarot. Peace and love. Ashe. When you're not next to me, oh,